Are they creatively bankrupt when it comes to map design? That's been a topic for years with Call of Duty. Obviously, this formula of having the remasters bundled with one or two new maps has worked. And look, I'm a fan of it. I don't mind it. I don't mind going and playing some of these remasters because it's been a while since I played them. And more often than not, they do work on the new COD. But there's a real lack of attention towards developing really good maps.
I enjoy the remasters, but I still need new maps. MW3 was a perfect example of you can't just have all remastered maps. Those were great maps in MW2, the OG, and they killed them. We got burnt out so fast.
Welcome, everybody, to episode number 274 of the COD Casuals podcast. We're your host, Mike.
I'm Justin.
Justin, how we doing today, bro?
I'm doing pretty good. It's a Monday. The weather's decent. Kind of cloudy outside, but at least it's not raining, you know?
That's all we could ask for. That's the end of the episode, everybody. Thank
Yep,
you on that.
it's Monday. I am tired. I had a good weekend. It was Mother's Day over this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Hope everyone took their moms out, celebrated if you can. I went out for brunch with my mom.
Hell yeah.
That was nice. What about you?
You know, man, I've met too many people that forgot about Mother's Day. Shame on them. Shame on them. You cannot. That's like the one, that day and Father's Day. You have to remember those days.
Yeah.
You don't want to be pissing off either of them. But no, man, it was a good weekend. I didn't get to game as much as I'd like to. Which just seems to be the pace of life right now. You know, if you're in your teens and you're listening to this, just wait, you'll get there eventually. And if you're in your 20s or 30s, like some of the people in the Discord we've talked to, they understand it. Yeah, it's been good though. I've been picking away at games like as best I can to hop on and play. And it's funny, we were talking about it before we recorded. Talking about like one of our friends who legit has not been gaming in over a year, which is just mental to me to think about. And when we were saying that, I started to think to myself or how long I've ever gone without gaming. I can't even really think about it. It's probably been a week, maybe 2 weeks. But even still, I can't remember a time in my life where I wasn't gaming on a weekly basis at the very least, you know? I couldn't imagine a whole year, like people who just stop playing. That to me,
Well,
it has to be insane.
it's like you don't remember the last time. That will be the last time you game for whatever reason. You're slowly, you're not playing as much anymore. And then all of a sudden, it's just gone.
Yeah.
When the world needed him most, he vanished.
Right.
But my longest stint was definitely Black Ops 6. That 2024. Yeah, 24 was definitely my longest stint of gaming. And yeah, and then I was able to play a lot this weekend, like back to just grinding. Played a couple of games of COD, but then I went and played Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I've been trying to beat that game for
years.
I don't know, dude. Years, man. 3 years? It was during
I think
COVID.
it's something like that. Yeah.
It's been a long time. And I think the last time I actually talked about it, I was saying, man, I was playing a lot. I was grinding this game out. And I looked at my last save, March 22nd. Bro, it's May. It was May 8th when I picked up and played. A whole month is gone. And I'm thinking to myself, oh, really? A whole month went by already? I can't believe it. A whole month went by.
Well, yeah, that's my thing is when I don't play for like a handful of days or whatever, or maybe like, there's a game that I'm grinding like on whether it's PlayStation 2 or 3, or if I'm playing on the 5. I'm like, yeah, I was playing it like maybe a week ago or so. And then I look at the save, I'm like, oh dude, my concept of time is completely fucked up. Like, yeah, I'm thinking like, it's just been a week. It's like, no, brother, it's been 2 months since you last played this game, but you just keep pushing it off and thinking that it hasn't been that long. But I know it's really bad when I go to the game and I forget the controls. That's when I know that I'm really cooked on a game. Like I haven't played in a long time. And I need to wake up. Like I hadn't played COD for probably like you know, the longest I ever go without playing COD, like, I probably 4 days,
Mhm.
something like that, and on that 4th day, when I go to sign on, oh, I'm nervous. I'm like, "Is this the day? Is this the day where I log on and I'm shit?" Like,
Yeah.
all my skills have gone away, like, I'm starting to realize, like, I don't have it like I used to, you know?
Mhm.
But then I'll go and play, maybe the first game I look at the lobby, I'm like, "Right, whatever, let's see what we got." Fry 'em. I'm like, "Yeah, I'm still good. I'm still good."
Mhm.
Like, we thank God the hands are still there. And there's gotta be maybe a turning point for people when they play games like Call of Duty, they go into it, they get cooked like 3 games in a row or whatever, and they're just like, "Man, screw this," and they turn off the console altogether 'cause they
Mhm.
realize that, it's time to hang up the jersey, you know?
Well, that's the thing. I don't think people know when that last time is, you know? It's I was scrolling through my friends list and dude, it's a graveyard.
Dude.
Over a year ago, months ago. You were the most recent. You were on, I think it said 11 days ago. Dude,
Uh,
you're the most recent. The
yeah.
fact that you are and there are a couple other people on, but they were on like Spotify, Netflix, whatever. Um, it's crazy. I would say 99% of my friend list, they don't play anymore.
Yeah. Nah, it's really bad when you go and look through certain people that, like, I used to play with all the time, and I just see that they're not on at all, like, you're just like my friends I went to college with, we'd go in game, and even still, like, we always would talk about my habit because I would put my thing in, like, do not disturb or, like, not
Mhm.
online. Because my friend, every time he hops on, he still bothers me, and I'm like, "Bro, I just wanna I'm playing Uncharted right now. I don't wanna deal
Yeah.
with it." But even I looked on there, and that guy, same thing, he hasn't been on in 2 months, you know? Like,
Mhm.
I think back, and I was really sad once where I went through and I did, like, a purge of my friends list because I had so many friends on PlayStation, and then, yeah, I did like you did, look through all of them, and all these people that, yeah, I've been friends with since, like, World at War, you know? People that, they've changed gamer tags, like, 3 times, and this is their new account. They're like, "Hey, bro, if you wanna be friends still, like, add me on this account." I'm like, "Alright, cool." All those people, yeah, over a year ago, over a year, or the worst on PlayStation, you have this for people where it doesn't say anything.
Yeah, because they don't
Yeah,
their
bro.
account's gone.
Yeah, it just they don't even exist anymore. So when I
Mhm.
delete all of those people, now I think I have, like, less than 30 people
Mhm.
that I'm friends with on PlayStation, and it's all people that I really know, like, actually in person I know them, or it's people that they're just it's too hard for me to let go. Like, they're just
Mhm.
OG names. I'm like, "Dude, I remember when I added this guy, like, I remember the map I added him on, in, like, COD 4 or MW2." There's just people that they're like nostalgia trips when I see that name, and, yeah, they're long gone, but I just look at them. I'm like, "Yeah, I'll keep it on there." Like, it's like a candlelight vigil.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Back in the day. You're just
Yeah.
thinking yeah, but it was yeah, it was sad just going through the friends list, and I sat down and I played for, like, let's say 11, 12 hours in total,
Dang.
which yeah, dude, I grinded.
One sitting?
No, not one sitting.
Oh,
No,
okay.
not one sitting. Saturday, I definitely grinded for,
You're different.
like, 7, 8 hours for sure. No. No, it's longer dude, no, longer than that. I wanna say, like, pushing 10. It was a lot. It was a minimum 8-hour day of playing Assassin's Creed. I got so much done, dude. It was insane. I cleared out so much stuff on that map, um, and my guy's just super overpowered. Eivor nuts. I'm finally at the point where I have one section left of the map,
Yeah.
and now I'm just breezing through the story because I just have everything. I've done everything. Now it's just mission to mission to mission. And sometimes I found this key, found this object. So the character just like skips over, oh, you already found this.
Right, right, right.
Um, and I don't know. It just felt good to just sit down and grind those games for that long. And it made me realize too, like, dude, the characters in this game are such ass. The gameplay
Really?
itself is fun. but the, you know, not character development, but the people that you meet, I don't remember anyone, man.
Yeah.
I'm just next
Yeah.
mission, next mission, next mission. And I know it's not an Assassin's Creed podcast, but it relates to COD too because they keep pumping out, games at this time over and over, and there's no character development, and you're not keeping track of all these protagonists and antagonists. I can go back and play Brotherhood, and I know all the big name protagonists and antagonists. In
Yeah.
this, I know I got Eivor, I got Bassam, I got Ronvi, Sigurd. I finally got my brother back, and this dude's a fucking asshole because he thinks he's a god right now. And it's I'm at the point where I'm so close to beating this, and I just want to 100% this thing, and I'm close. Then I can move on to my next game after years.
Yeah. You finally will be like, well, what do I play next? You know what I mean?
Dude, it's always been
Like,
COD and Valhalla for the longest time. I had the little stints of where you and I would play some co-op game, but
yeah,
other than
what's the
that,
one Split Fiction,
yeah, and we
which we
still need to
still
beat
need to
that.
finish. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, I hear you though. It's with games like what that thing we're talking about, a character arc,
yeah.
hard to come by nowadays with people, I'm playing replaying Uncharted 4,
Mhm.
which I think today or maybe it was yesterday, the day recording, it was the 10-year anniversary of that game coming out, which just blows my mind that it's been that long
Yeah.
already. But again, when you think about a game like that, I mean, you've got all the people that you've always had, but they brought in Sam, having him in the
Mhm.
story, and people were like, "What? They're adding a new character. I don't know about this." I mean, they treated him like royalty. They did exactly what they're supposed to do with him. They give him a character arc, they give him a personality, they make him likable,
Mhm.
but then, like, he has his twists and turns, like all those characters do in all those stories, and that's what you need to do. I feel like that's just lacking in a lot of games now. You just don't really care about any of the people that are in it. Yeah, in Assassin's Creed, I think back to even one of the best ones, for us was, Odyssey. Love that one. I mean, there's so many characters in that game,
Yeah,
though.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's just it's crazy, like, the amount of people and their little stories that they have. I understand it's a different type of game, but even still, you don't really care that much
Yeah.
even about the big name people that you should. It's like, man,
Mhm.
you should take a page out of Naughty Dog's playbook here where these characters or even Joel, it's like, "Bro, I don't even know this guy," but
Mhm.
within 20 minutes of the opening to Last of Us 1, I mean, you got people all crying with this guy when his, spoiler alert, when his daughter dies.
Mhm.
Like, that to me is like the pinnacle. It's like, dude, you don't even know this guy. You don't know jack shit about Joel and what he does, but you just because the performance is so good and the writing's so good, you're already like, "Oh yeah, I'm in with this guy." I feel it like it's tough.
Mhm.
Some of these characters I play the whole game and I'm just like, "All right, cool."
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah,
that's it.
exactly. And that's with the open world Assassin's Creeds. It's I like the gameplay more than the actual story. I like going treasure hunting and checking off all my missions. The raids, I like going in, killing everyone, slaughtering every single enemy. You know, and I don't need to be silent about it. I don't mind being silent, but when I'm a Viking, I'm just running through and killing everyone. Man.
Yeah.
That's what
No,
I
that
like, the gameplay, but the storyline. But I found that since I've done everything else, and I'm just going in playing story after story after story after story, it helps because it's kind of a uh, what's the word? Um, it's kind of like a
yep.
linear story because I've done everything else already. But then
No,
there's
I
that
know.
gap. It's that pause in between, right? Like I finish a story. Oh, your quest is completed. Now you're supposed to go and explore, and you're free. But I just go to the next story. Whereas in a linear game, you don't really have those points. You're moving on to the next phase of the game or whatever.
Yeah, like when you play, Uncharted, there's never an objective like
Yeah,
up in the
that's
top right that says go here, do this. You just kind of play through the movie more or less.
mhm.
Um, and that's a whole other debate, too many cutscenes in games turn into movies or whatever. But yeah, there's definitely an attention to detail that needs to be taken with with characters if you're going to be telling a story, or if you're trying to, use characters that have been used in the past, like with Uncharted. It's like, okay, well, we've had now this is the fourth game with Nathan Drake. How are we going to keep this interesting for people? And with Sully and with Elena, and it was surprising Chloe was not in the game until when they did the what's the other version that they did? Is it a Thief's not a Thief's
Lost
End, but yeah.
Legacy.
Yeah, Lost Legacy, like adding that extra part there. But when you have these characters that are fan favorites, every time after they've been established as like really good characters, probably from Uncharted 1, every game after that, you have to make sure that you're delivering big time with these people. Like we've said in last episode, when we go and bring in characters like Ghost or Price or Soap or whoever, it's like, yeah, we love those guys off rip if in like from our old days of gaming when they were originally put out, but now they don't do anything for them. They have no personality. They're just like, the only thing I ever see with Soap and all like the things that I see from the games is it just memes. People joke about them and the lines that they have and how cringe they are, or just meaningless plots. Every Call of Duty is about the missiles. We got to stop the missiles, stop them. It's like, bro, we've done that about 1,000 times, and you don't care about these characters much anymore. Like when we saw Soap die in the new car, we're like, bro, what? Like we didn't even really care about him because it wasn't really a developed character. It was just kind of out of nowhere randomness, and you didn't really feel anything for him because he was just kind of a placeholder character, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it made people mad that play the original game. That's what it's but
Yeah, like,
other than
you
that, yeah.
Yeah, you're disrespecting the character and what they
Mhm,
used to be, at one point. Like those guys, I mean, you remember when Soap died in the original MW3. I
mhm,
mean, I can visualize that moment right now when like, Price has him on the table and he's all pissed off and then he punches you down the stairs. It's
mhm.
like, dude, you realize how close these guys were and like they've developed that through all the games. But I just feel a lot of developers now, they tend to overlook that stuff, like really having a good character arc and
Yeah, yeah.
caring about these people where
Mm.
you're truly invested in the story.
Yeah, the art of storytelling is lost in a lot of these games now, and Uncharted's one of those games where every character that they brought in, people have loved because they've developed that character arc, and yes, Uncharted 4 is the last game with Drake, he retired and, got the life that he wanted, but it gives Naughty Dog an opportunity because they develop these characters to go and potentially create another game with these characters. I mean, Lost Legacy, short game, but they brought in Chloe because people loved Chloe. Realistically, if they wanted to, they could make a whole game about Sully.
Right. And
And
too, Nadine and Rafe.
yeah, they've gotten to the point where they've developed these characters. And if they did make another game separate from Drake, people would still buy it because, yeah, it's a great game, but Naughty Dog has earned the respect that they've deserved because they honor all their characters.
Yeah, going into any game made by those top developers, you already know that you're going to be taken care
Mm,
of, you know? And yeah, right now with minus with the Resynced, which, is already, that character's already been played out. We know how it's going to go. Um, they need to earn people's trust back because they had it at one point, but now you get the slop of characters and runs where, you're not really feeling the same anymore and you don't remember half these characters or what the story is really about, you know?
mm.
Like, anytime I see some of the Assassin's Creeds and then they go and they pan to, like, all the people that you have to go and kill, I'm like, "Here we go. Here's gonna
Yeah, the
be
tree.
25 people that I don't care anything about in this killing tree." But then there's the main boss at the end, and, like, he may be the one person I remember, but to think of it in those games, like in Odyssey, for example, I don't remember who you, like, really fight at the end. Like, I think it's supposed to be what your sister or your brother, however you play the game,
Mhm.
but like that group, and a lot of those other games too, I don't remember who those people are. And that just kind of goes to show they don't really do much in trying to develop those characters for you as the player to really like them or hate them, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah. And in Call of Duty, they've had these characters that are so easy to use and bring back and develop a whole storyline out of them, but they throw it away.
Yeah.
Ghost Ghost is just an iconic character, and they could do so much with him. I mean, the Ghost, and a whole game just about him if they really wanted to. Same
Oh,
with
yeah.
Price. Same with Soap. They easily could do that. Or they take a different spin and you're playing as um what's his name?
Makarov.
Yeah, Makarov. That would be crazy. That would be
Yeah.
nuts. But yeah, where is that storyline? I mean, you and I are sucker for story games. That's why we liked in MW3 they did those mini games stories.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I forget what they're called.
Yeah, what I forget what that was. It MW3 or 2 where we had those?
I think it was 3
It wasn't
that
Spec
had
Ops, like,
no, no,
whatever.
no. It was
Yeah.
released every season.
Yeah, wow, I forget because we talked about them all the time. They were such a good thing because they actually had a story that was
Yeah.
going on. Yeah, and you had to wait a little bit, but no, I forget what those things were called. Which again, why did
Adamgrad.
we stop?
That's what
Was that?
it was called, Adamgrad.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I think you're
But
right.
yeah, yeah, that's a storyline that they called it.
But why did we stop doing that stuff? Why?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
those are just to me, those are fun things that, add a little side to what's going on. And I think it's better than when you see some of the season stuff, like, when they go and do any of the new seasons or they do the reloaded and they give the little snippet,
Yeah.
of the story that's going on in the beginning. Like, to me, how lazy is that? Like, I wanna
Mhm,
I wanna play this stuff,
mhm,
Or I remember wasn't it was it season 1 when the main character of the story in this game, that girl, I can't remember her name, they made a whole big deal about her, and then they just killed her in the cutscene.
mhm.
Do you remember that?
Yeah, yeah, I think it was season 1, and then she came back in season 2. Like, she didn't
Yeah.
actually die. I'm like, "You got shot in the head. What do you
Yeah.
mean?"
It's like Graves when we blew him up in the tank, and then he's like, 2 seasons later, "I wasn't in that tank." I'm like,
Yeah, yeah,
"What?"
yeah, yeah.
It's
That
like,
wasn't
"Dude."
me.
Yeah, like, legit, that's what he just says. Stuff like that, like, it's lazy
Mhm.
storytelling, you
Well,
know?
and to your point with that, this is multiplayer. Leave that to the campaign, you know what I mean?
Right.
Build these characters in the campaign. Why do we have this little cutscene that looks like a movie? It's a 30-second movie, and then, season whatever drops.
Yeah.
No one's gonna remember anything from that, and we get a season pass where, at the end of the day, none of us care about it. We just want the weapons. The 2
Yeah.
weapons that come out of it, that's what we wanna use, and we grind it because we refuse to pay extra money to unlock the whole season pass. But other people, they don't want to grind. They just want those 2 weapons like us. But they just spend the cash to buy it and now they can use it.
Well, now what I'd seen too is there was some game it wasn't Call of Duty, I don't think, even though it sounds like them, where you could pre-order the battle pass.
Mhm.
This was a new I shouldn't even like it's definitely something that I read about. I can't remember the game unfortunately, but it's like that's where they're kind of going with that, is they want to have any way that you could possibly buy that battle pass, which yeah, you and me, hell no. I buy my initial off rip just to get in and then they ain't getting my money. Like I'll
Yeah.
grind, I'll go and play and I'll pick up the weapons and try them out, and play enough to be able to unlock them, but I ain't going anything beyond that. Like, and again, it's an odd, like what we were saying before, it's an odd disconnect where you have the story that most multiplayer people, like I guarantee all the guys that, are hardcore ranked players and stuff, that they don't play the campaigns. They don't even know what's going on with that. So it's pointless information to be giving. My whole thing is if they're going to be, which I'd heard with MW4, there not much news regarding it still. which isn't too surprising. But I've heard that it's going to be a complete reset, and whatever that means.
Yeah.
That, like, yeah, there's gonna be no carryover from Black Ops 7, which is to be expected, which is good. But when they say a complete reset, I really wonder what they mean regarding, like, are we talking everything in the whole Call of Duty sphere? Like, really nothing from the multiplayers in the past is going to be there? I don't buy that. But if it is going to be in some level of a reset, I'm like, man, we should reset here and actually make a decent COD campaign. I'm like, bro, we
Mhm.
used to have that. Give us new characters, give us a decent story, all that stuff that you save, that now we're talking what? It's in May, and this COD came out what, October or
November. November.
November?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're talking 6 months ago this game came out, and they're still drip feeding us story stuff. Put it in the fucking campaign. Put it
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know what I mean?
The campaign
Crazy
needed it.
concept for you. Yeah, I'm like, dude, like, the story is all these stories in any game is like a fleeting memory unless it's very good, So when you have an average story and then they drip feed these throughout the seasons, I just don't even understand who that's for. Like, I don't is there an audience for that where people see that and they're like, "Yo, dude, you gotta see like the cutscene for season 3 Reloaded." Like, what?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I wanna meet that person and be like, "Who are you?"
Yeah, that's a who's even excited about that? I watch it because, you know, I it's it forces me to watch it, first of all, but
Yeah, like
and
old
I like the
circle.
story, but also, yeah, I guarantee you there are people that just wanna go into season 3, they just hold circle skip. They don't wanna see anything about it. They just
Yeah.
wanna jump straight into the multiplayer, which, to my point, keep it strictly multiplayer and then move all the story stuff to the campaign. What's the point of, having both? And yeah, COD in MW4, if they're resetting, when they say reset in my head, I'm thinking, okay, stuff's not carrying over, which, like you said, I expect that. But they should just reset COD in general. New characters, new everything. Give me a dark story game. Give me something where it's a war game and I'm nervous about playing a mission. It's dark. It's in the rain. I got to go in with night vision or something like that.
Yeah, there I've been watching a couple of videos the past few days or past week, um, talking about Call of Duty 4 and World at War, and mainly just like the campaigns, but the multiplayer too from those games. And that obviously COD 4 is one of the benchmarks for really starting everything. I mean, it is like everything that we have in Call of Duty now for people who are too young. That game really did start everything. But when talking about still with the campaign here, that was one of the first campaigns ever where your character died. Like, that was it, when you have that guy Paul Jackson and then the nuke goes off and you have that mission where you get out of the helicopter that's crashed and you're
Mhm.
like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna do this." And then the game's just like, "Nope, you're dead." Yeah, like, that's it. And that's like a big moment in a game. And then you see from with World at War too, like the criticism I'd seen with COD 4, like, oh, some of these characters aren't developed enough, or you don't really get to see their side. Oh, World at War, yeah. Then all of a sudden you're sympathizing with the Russians and you totally see Reznov's point and why
Mhm.
he is how he is. And yeah, you get actually invested in what's going on with the game. There's at some point, and they continued this for a while, but there's
Yeah.
some point in COD, and I don't know when it was, where they just really stopped trying to learn from the mistakes or, build off of what they had done in the previous year, you know, where I think they just kind of got content and were putting out average stuff. But I mean, like we've said before. I mean, it is obvious in the sales of the game and the retention rate with it that yeah, the developers in these games are just not doing that as much anymore. They're not really trying to dig deep and make like an impactful video game. It's just like, oh yeah, plug and play. Like, there you go, multiplayer sounds good. Remaster 20,000 maps. Let's throw it in here. You
Mhm.
know,
Oh, yeah,
like
yeah. And the storylines too. I feel like most COD campaigns are predictable at the end of the day. It's gonna be a happy ending. throw in some, spins or something in the middle of the campaign. I mean, my first COD campaign was MW2, and last episode I said I didn't know anything about Call of Duty. It was my first time playing it, and I still remember missions to this day about it.
Mhm.
And I remember playing as Ghost and then dying, and I couldn't believe it. I was like, "What the heck is happening? Why did
Yeah.
I just get shot?" And yeah, nowadays we just know that all right, we gotta go capture these codes because these codes are gonna release a toxic gas that destroys the city. If we don't get this, it's over. But then somehow we get the codes and the gas still goes off, and now it leads to Warzone. The story continues to save this. But let's go back to, you know, our other main characters back at home who are waiting for us. We get back and it leaves off of not even a cliffhanger. It's just, we did this, we completed this. And yeah,
Yeah.
sure, we get a ending we sort of want, but also there's still stuff going on that we need to do in the future. What do you mean? I just played this whole campaign and you're telling me the gas got released and there's no closure? Or
Yeah.
it's either give me some closure or leave me on insane cliffhanger for the next game.
Right. Give me that ghost ending, you
Yeah.
know? Yeah. And to what we were saying, yeah, when Ghost gets killed in MW2, bro, you hate Shepard.
Yeah.
You're like, you're
I can't
spinning
wait
over
to
this
kill this
dude.
guy.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. But that's to their credit. Yeah, they made you hate this guy. They were good at making you not like him. But there's plenty of games out there like again when you play BO7, bro, you don't even know what's going on. You just don't even really care about these characters. You're not invested in them. And yeah, it's definitely sad to see it on the campaign end where Call of Duty has really dropped the ball on that, you know? I hope that at some point we can get back to where we have good story games, or good stories just attached to the game because it's always been for me an integral part of it. That was the first thing I ever played with Call of Duty was playing the
Mhm.
campaigns. Um, and yeah, it sucks when they just have it be an afterthought, you know? But shifting off that, let's say when I did play a little bit of season 3, like we played a little bit or I played a little bit last week with it too. I'm happy with the remasters that they'd thrown in. And I like the new map too. I had to go pull it up because I couldn't remember the name of it with Onsen. You played this map much?
Yeah, I played it you know, a couple times on Friday.
What you think of it?
I enjoyed it. I mean, I think I'm at the point with this game too where just give me new stuff, I mean, I think all of us are at that point with all these CODs because look, most of the maps are all right. I wouldn't say they're great, but even the remastered ones, I enjoy them mainly because when I'm watching competitive, it's good. It's something
Yeah.
new. But playing them, I don't know. I get excited for it for a week or two, and then it's just the same old map that we played this, years ago. So
Right.
what's the point? So when a new map comes, yeah, I think right now in the state of COD, people hate new maps because they've just been miss after miss after miss, or they're just all right. And this one, I enjoyed it. I wouldn't say it's great, but I had fun on it.
Yeah, I honestly I like that map. I was happy to see that the trend of like with these games where yeah, they go on all the remasters but they bring out, some new ones that they're not complete trash. And they've done a good job with the maps overall this year, but yeah, to that point I don't really know how they're gonna stack up, against some of the other CODs that we played in the past 5, 6 years, you know? I don't know if and to that point in general, I don't know how many memorable maps there really are. When I mention these or I hear people talking about them, like the pros, they would go back on old maps and they talk about them. I really try to think I don't know how many maps I really think of as memorable maps that y'all always know, Nuketown and like Dome and Hacienda. Yeah, those are always going to be there, but just maps that were in a COD, just one that were
Mhm,
so good and everybody loved it. I haven't really had that in a long time. I feel like it's always the
mhm.
remasters that people go to just because yeah, we've seen Hacienda now in like what, 4 CODs, I think, something
Mhm.
like that. You know, like yeah, of course that's going to be memorable because it's been used so many times. But maps that just exist on a game, I can't. There's a very fine list of ones that I remember, and mainly from the OG MW3 because those
Yeah,
maps are gonna.
yeah. And I think that's a great content idea. I just thought of it when you were talking about this, so I'm not gonna put it out because someone's gonna take it. But yeah, I mean, I think even the CODs that I sat down and grinded, you would think I'd memorize all the great maps, the majority of the maps, like Black Ops 4, fantastic game. Played the shit out of that game. But in Black Ops 4, I can list off a handful of maps that were great. If you showed me the thumbnail of the
Yeah,
map. And I think that shows how bad my memory is, but also it shows the maps that really, really stand out. Really, really stand out. Because Raid is one of them. Everyone talks about Raid. Even if you're a casual player, you don't play a lot, you know what Raid is. Yeah. Slums. You know what Slums is.
yeah. Nuketown, you know
Yeah.
that one. But I'm thinking even yeah, to the BO4 thing, because yeah, we played a ton of that. The map with Arsenal,
Yeah.
right?
Arsenal. That was, yeah.
Yeah, like, I remember that map. That map
Mhm.
was got and that's where Sim had his, like, insane snipes on, right? Was that
Yeah.
on that map? Yeah, okay. That's the one I think of, but then there's a couple from that game or, from that game too that I remember, like, if I saw them, I'm like, "Oh, yeah, I know how to play the map," but I don't remember the name of it at all,
Hmm.
you know? Like, and they weren't no crazy MW 2019 maps where they were like Yamantau Bridge,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah. Yeah.
or like some, yeah, Euphrates Bridge, some
Hmm.
long ass name. Yeah, and I'm glad you mentioned the memory thing too, because I tweak out sometimes. I'm like, dude, am I
Hmm.
losing it? Like, I have over 15 days on this COD. I should know these maps. I've played them
Oh, yeah.
hundreds of
Yeah.
times, but
Yeah.
yeah, I think there's a very fine list of maps that are not in that remaster category that I think really go down as like great COD maps that are just all time some of the best, you know.
Hmm.
But for whatever reason, like Yemen was one of those maps. Yemen was like a godlike map, and it's crazy that it took all these years for that map to finally come back.
Hmm.
Something like that. There's not many of those left.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, they're gonna keep remaking maps, but we need new great maps, and
Yeah.
there aren't there. I mean, there haven't been many, since it's been a few years. Oh, but when are we gonna get to the point where they remaster what was it, Six Star or
Right.
Rio? And
Yeah.
if that happens, I'm thinking we're lost. Those maps are
Yeah.
great. They're good. No, they're good.
Yeah, they're
They're
good.
not great maps. They are not great maps.
Yeah, they stand out in, like, a shitstorm of maps,
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
good maps. But, yeah, it comes down to the idea of, like, yeah, are they creatively bankrupt, when it comes to map design? That's been a topic for years with Call of Duty, and, obviously, this formula of having the remasters bundled with 1 or 2, new maps has worked, and, look, I'm a fan of it. I don't mind it. I don't mind going and playing some of these remasters because it's been a while since I played them, and more often than not, they do work on the new COD. But yeah, there's a real lack of attention towards developing really good maps, which I said last week, and I still stand by. When I was editing the shorts, I saw it and I was like, "Yep, still agree with myself on it." There's very few games, Justin, that hit all those tenets where they got like good gameplay, they got good maps, they got a good campaign. I mean, there's very, very few CODs that really do that. They drop the ball somewhere, you know.
Mhm.
And map design in the past handful of years has definitely been one that has just continued to be dropped. People don't put the attention that it needs into it.
Yeah, and part of me is you said the lack of creativity. That just might be because all of us are not being creative anymore. Low key.
Yeah.
We were talking about AI. AI is being created for us, which means humans aren't trying to be creative. You know, they don't understand this the art of storytelling, developing these characters. You gotta build up, you can't get it instantly. And these maps, I'm sure you can go into ChatGPT and just say, "Hey, create me a Call of Duty map," and bing bam boom, here's a 3-lane map, and these it might work, but you know what I mean? It are are people gonna remember these maps though? Where back in the day, yeah, we didn't have all this technology, but I'm sure there are artists that sat down and talked about every single design piece of these maps. How come we remember all these MW2 and MW3 maps? Even the shitty ones. We
Yeah.
still remember those. And now we don't remember anything.
Yeah, and I always wondered that too because you can go through those games and a lot of people could name all of those, but if you put a Vanguard map
Mhm.
in front of me, it'd be really tough to name those, you
Yeah.
know? There's a handful of them that
I
I would know, you know, multiple choice maybe,
yeah,
but,
yeah, yeah.
like,
Yeah.
you know, or 50-50, but yeah, it is a problem, and to that with, AI, there's gonna be a point where they make these maps I can't wait for the day. I can't wait for the day when I go on Twitter and I see that Charlie Intel or CDL Intel, whatever, they put out some post saying, this is a new Call of Duty map that's been created entirely by AI. And it's like a walkthrough of the map, and people are gonna be like, dude, it's actually good. It's not bad. It's not a
Yeah.
bad map. That's where I'm like, yeah, we're cooked.
We're cooked. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
because now these people are just gonna use, and I'm sure they will already
Yeah.
use that as like a baseline, and then they go in and tweak it, you know?
Mhm.
Which, if that's where we need to go to get good maps, I mean, I'm here for it, but what
Mhm.
happened to our Black Ops team? What happened to our COD 4 team back in the day that were just a bunch of people sitting around designing maps? Why
Yeah.
can't we do that anymore?
They're the ones reviewing the AI maps saying, "Yeah, this, maybe this is not that bad." But now they're not being creative. And it's important obviously to be creative in any video game. And yeah, I wonder though, you should ask your kids at school if the ones that do play COD that started off in 2019 or 2020, if they remember map names, because I wonder if MW19 to them is COD 4, World at War, MW2 to us. If they can list off every map name,
Yeah.
I'm calling no shot on that. There's no way.
Yeah, there's no chance. Like their first COD, whatever it's been, where they're playing it like mad. Yeah, I don't know.
I
I would be
wonder
mind
that.
blown if they
Yeah,
no,
yeah,
but it's a good question. I'll definitely ask because you know, you thinking about it now, I mean, I mentioned it with last week with like the generation from PS4 games, in Call of Duty. And I want to say it was somewhere like 13 games or something that were on that list. I mean, think about how many maps that is. That's just on the PS4 to 5.
yeah.
Like, we're not talking the PS3 era too. I mean, that's what COD 4, World of War, MW. I mean, that's like,
That's
yeah,
all
you,
the golden ones.
yeah. I mean, we're talking over 20 games, and how many maps on each of those games? Probably 15 to 20, but you're
Mhm.
talking hundreds,
Yeah,
hundreds of maps that are in there at one time. And there's a lot. I mean, the vast majority of them get lost just because you don't really care about them. But yeah, I don't know how many of those I would ever remember. You know,
mhm.
I mean, I know I do none. I really don't
Yeah, yeah.
remember any of them.
I can picture playing the map on a lot of these games, but the names, yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, you guys let us know. Is it just because our memory's actually cooked? It's bad,
Uh,
or these just
but
maps
it,
aren't memorable, the names,
yeah,
because Vanguard, I really I don't know if I could name a Vanguard map. If you said one, it would probably, spark my memory, but I can describe certain maps. Uh,
and if I
like,
spawn
well,
in on it,
Gavutu, that's one. The ship
yeah,
one, Gavatu,
yeah,
whatever.
Gavutu, yeah,
Everyone called it Gavatu.
mhm,
And the one where LA Thieves won, they won on that map.
yeah,
Got
there
champs. And then the whatever the farm map is, the one where There were like 2 barns
Yes, yes, yes,
and
I
the
know
the
exactly what
crazy
you're talking
one.
about.
Yeah.
Yep,
Every
yeah,
sub went off.
with the gate heady.
Yeah,
You had,
yeah,
like, those
yeah.
yeah. I know the map you're talking about, like, that's where Shotzi got that insane three-piece with the off Thieves and, Octane dropped his donut on that map, like, double
Yeah.
donuts. Yeah. I forget what, not Gunrunner. Is that no,
No,
Gunrunner's
no. That's
that's MW
MW19.
19. Yeah, see,
Yeah.
bro, I don't know.
See? Yeah, yeah.
Or
Uh,
then there's the one that's got all the rooftops that you're on, and I think we were watching it where Pred went and beat FaZe on that map in a hard point, with, Surge, and they had, like, this insane moment. Like, I
yeah, yeah.
remember to your
I
point, I
yeah, I
remember the
remember, yeah.
maps.
It's like a church in the middle, and then P2 is next to this fountain, and you can't break. P2 was impossible to break because there are just no good lanes that you could hit. Oh, Tuscan. I think that's the name of the map.
I had to pull it up because yeah, I was losing my mind, and maybe people listening are being like, "You guys are absolute morons. How do you not remember these?" The one that I was thinking of, just Bokage, like a
Bokeh.
Bokage,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Bokeh. Yeah,
Bokage,
that's a
yeah,
crazy one. Yeah, yeah. Is Tuscan the
Bokage.
one? Is that the one
Let me
with the
see if
church
I
in the
can
middle
find
and
that
then
one.
the?
Yes, yep, you're correct. You got
All right.
that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then
See,
we're getting
nice.
into some of these season maps. I mean, Sphere, Casablanca.
I
You
remember.
know,
See, I remember the names. Oh no, not. I remember. They look
Gondola.
familiar. I do
Remember
remember. I remember the map. So
you
yeah, I
remember
can picture it.
Gondola?
Yeah, I can
Yeah,
picture it.
with the gondola,
Yeah, yeah.
you would
I can
get.
picture it. It's a bit snowy.
Yep. Yeah, it's like it's snowy, it's nighttime map.
Yeah, Casablanca. You were on rooftops, if I
Oh,
remember
yeah,
right.
yeah, yeah, no. Yeah, see, I totally I blacked out
Yeah.
on that map, yeah. I mean, there's just so many Hotel Royale, Red Star, Oasis, Eagle's Nest. The one that we're thinking too, you remember
Mhm.
this when LAG when they won their, tournament on Berlin, that map, like,
Yeah.
right it's got
Yeah.
the broken down, like, building right
Mhm.
in the middle. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I think, like, the point that I'm going with this too is that if I spawned in, and most people resonate with this, is I spawn in on any of those maps, I know
Yeah,
how to
yeah.
play. I
Yeah,
remember
yeah.
all the maps. I'm not gonna spawn in on Berlin right now and be like, "Oh, I didn't know you could do that." I'm like, "Oh, bro, I still remember that whole map, how to play it." But if you put the map name in front of me and we're like, "What is this map?" Yeah, I got no idea.
Yeah, if you give me the thumbnail, the photo of the map, and you let me spawn in, I'll probably have a better chance of trying to figure out the name. But if I spawn in, I know where to go. I know the routes that I used to run. But
Yeah,
I think I would have a better shot if I saw the thumbnail and I had to spawn in the game and
right.
try to figure out the name.
Yeah.
Because
No,
most of them outside of MW19 is one word.
yes. Yes, what made it
So,
easier for sure. Yeah, but when I go and play Summit, which I can't really remember the last time I played Summit. It's been not since just Black Ops 1. It's been they've remastered I think once or twice since then. Might have been like BO3 or BO4. I think they had it. I think BO4 had it. Might have been BO3. But playing that map, like, yeah, I know immediately. I spawned in for the first time. I'm just like, yeah, I know where to go. There's nothing crazy here. I can get it done. Same thing with Hacienda. Like again, we played
mhm,
that last year. So and that goes for pretty much all these remasters. When I go into them, I like playing them. It feels good to be there because they're just classic standbys. And they work in the game. But I do feel those maps wear on me a bit more. Like the allure of playing that, it
mhm.
kind of goes quick. Whereas when I play like Onsen, that map for me, I just was like, oh yeah, this is interesting. I like the look of it. It's got a nice kind of flow to it. I'd rather be playing that over playing something like Summit, where I've played countless matches on Summit. You know,
Yeah.
I want to have more of the new stuff to just learn and try to get better at that.
Yeah, because you're continuing to learn on new maps where the remastered ones, I think I enjoy the remasters, but I still need new maps. I mean, MW3 was a perfect example of you can't just have all remastered maps. Those were great maps in MW2, the OG, and they killed them. We got burnt out so fast. And yeah, I mean, if you go back to MW2 2022, I'm thinking, how many original maps can you think of in that game? And MW3. The MW3 ones you're probably thinking of because we played the OG MW2 maps.
Yeah. I mean, when
I
I
got
just
Rio and
pull
6 star.
bro, when I pull up the MW2 map list, I mean,
Hot
yeah,
I remember Hotel. For whatever reason, like, I enjoyed playing Hotel a lot, but I'm trying to think of the other ones.
Asilo.
Yeah.
Silo's on there. I mean,
Mhm.
I'm not over here being some wizard for audio listeners. I mean, I pull all this stuff out right now. This is weird because these names are like, yeah, it's not hotel, it's Greenberg Hotel. And then
Yeah.
Fortress was Albagra Fortress,
Yeah. I remember
Crown
Fortress, yeah.
Raceway,
Yeah.
Embassy. Embassy was a normal name, good map. Farm
Mhm.
18. Yeah, like
Yeah.
I mean, homie, what were we doing with some of these names? Zarqua, Hydroelectric.
Yeah.
But everyone's just
Hydro,
like, yo,
yeah, yeah.
playing Hydro.
See, yeah, when you say these names, it brings me back to the memories, and I know the map, like, exactly when you
Yeah.
say these names.
Well, do you remember this one? You remember Tarak?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. Tarak was a good
Okay.
one. Then there's Expo, Himmelmat Expo. Dude, bro, we had
Yeah.
some straight bangers on that map.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, like you go a little trip down memory lane. Some of these weren't
Yeah.
too bad, but to our point, I have to have a photo and a
Yeah.
name pulled up to remember all these. If you're just like name one map from MW2, oh,
I'm
I'm not in
I'm
good
saying
shape.
I'm saying hotel right away.
Yeah, and then it's like, "Name another." I'm like, "Oh."
Yeah.
Yeah, it gets really bad, but going back on them, yeah, you can kinda pick them up, but, yeah, I'm more along the lines of when I just play these maps, I'm familiar with them, of course, because it just immediately kicks in, like, yeah, whenever I say those names to you, you immediately put the image and then imagine yourself
Mhm.
playing it, and it's even like that too when I was watching the matches over the weekend for the CDL, when I watch some of those, I see, what is the one that they've been playing? Plaza a lot.
Mhm.
That map takes me back when I see it, but even to that point with something like that where, yeah, it's a remaster and it's good to have them in there and they work, that map is a clear example of one that just does not work. Like, it
Yeah.
doesn't work on this game, it doesn't work for that mode, and it's just weird because it's a classic map that, people put in high regard from Black Ops 2 like they do with every map from that game. Um, but it's weird seeing it kind of, get dragged through the mud. When you watch it, it's just the most bang out stupid thing to ever watch, and people are talking bad about it. I'm like, "Damn, are we kinda throwing some shade on this map right now? Like, is Plaza
Mhm.
going downhill because of BO7, because of what they do
Yeah.
to it?" You know? Like, it's very odd. You never even think about that with some of these maps, but it's weird to see a remaster when I watch it on broadcast. I just don't really get excited about it. I'm like, "Oh, that map kinda sucks," you
Mhm.
know?
Mhm.
Even though it is a great map.
Yeah, yeah. Just for competitive in this game, it just doesn't
It
work.
doesn't it doesn't work for sure. I mean, it needs to go. I mean, and I liked seeing some of the remasters come in. I like seeing well, Hacienda they'll probably add in at some point into there. But what's the other one right now that I'm just blacking out on that they added? Fringe. Having Fringe
Mhm.
in there, like that map is always good to be watching. It's fun to always play too. Um, so it's nice having some that their legacy lives on and they're still good maps, but yeah, Plaza is definitely not one of those. I don't mind playing it in pubs. It's not
Yeah, yeah,
bad.
yeah, yeah. In pubs, it's fine. I just think it's funny where we're playing a lot of the same maps again. I mean, we got Raid, we got Fringe, we got Plaza. What else do we got? We got
Yeah, I'm trying to even think
like
from
remastered ones.
in the CDL right now for
Yeah,
maps that
yeah.
they've got. Yeah, I think that
I think that's
I don't know if that's it.
I know that they got Den, they got Scar. Those are like this game.
Yeah,
Uh,
Gridlock,
yeah, yeah.
same thing. But
Oh yeah,
for
yeah.
remasters,
Oh yeah,
yeah.
like Gridlock too. Yeah, that's 4 maps right there.
Yeah, and then trying to think too for other ones that they've added like Colossus they play, Exposure they
Yeah.
play.
So it's
Um
pretty. I think it's pretty split down the middle. between new
Yeah, it's
maps
not
and
too
rematch
bad.
maps. Yeah.
Yeah, I and then they also too you don't see it that much, but adding sake in there, which
Mhm,
I love that map. I'm a big fan of that map. Like
mhm,
competitively, it's neither here or there. I like watching it. I think people are kind of divided on it, but
mhm,
yeah, I like seeing more of the new maps that are being put in there instead of the remasters. But yeah, they've got a good mix of both.
mhm.
Um, it's just funny to see a map that's remastered and people are all hyped about it and being like, "This is the first time since Black Ops 2, this map's coming in," and then it gets added in. I'm like, "Get it out of here."
Yeah, get it out. Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Like, replace it with
Well,
something else, bro.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I mean, in terms of CDL, that's great for us because more variety, right? As a viewer versus a player, it's so different because I mean, a lot of the pros hate Plaza. They're like, get it out of here. And
Mhm.
I get it to an extent, but not gonna lie, it is kind of fun just to see, all right, bang out. Just all four hit at the same time and who gets lucky enough. And
Yeah.
is there skill in it? Debatable. I mean, it's
Yeah.
whoever gets, the first couple bullets and timing. But yeah, the CDL happened. It was the last set of matches before Major
Justin,
3.
tell us the good news.
I was still worried, to be honest. I did
Don't talk like
it.
that, bro.
But
Tell us the good
Boston
news.
won a game. They won a series.
They did it, gentlemen,
They did it. Yeah.
by the
And
skin of their teeth.
I literally I got worried when they went up 2-0. I'm like, not again.
Yeah. Well, and then they lost. Then they started losing.
They started
I was
losing,
like,
yeah.
yeah, they won the hard point. They won the surge. Yeah, same thing. I was
They
like,
went up
I
to
don't
map
know.
5.
You yeah, and then they got
Yeah.
smoked in the overload. I was like, "Not
Okay.
again."
Yeah. Yeah.
But no, they clutched up. I mean, thank God
Mhm.
they ended up getting a win here. Yeah, it was much needed for them. They beat G2, which I didn't think they were really going to beat G2, honestly. G2's been looking good. And then so G2, like this is again following the common logic of Call of Duty right now. G2 goes and plays them, but plays Boston, arguably the worst team, and they lose to them like
Mhm.
in a total
I
nail
can't say
biter.
we're C9's the worst team. We
Yeah,
can't give
true.
Boston
True.
that. C9 is
True.
they're
No,
garbage.
that's C9's definitely the worst. Yeah, I'll,
Yeah.
I'll I'll take back my comment. But this is also even going backwards. This is coming off of I had to pull it up here to remember G2. They beat Miami. They 3-0 Miami. Then they lose to Boston, which makes no sense. And then yesterday they go and they beat Thieves. I mean, this
Mhm.
makes
And by that,
no
Boston's
sense.
better than Thieves.
I mean, if you're gonna connect the dots, Justin, we're
Yeah.
basically like
We're
right at
basically top 3.
Yeah, I mean, we're knocking on the door
Yeah.
basically right there. Yeah, it's very strange. The matches were there were some that were unpredictable for sure like that, but it's good to see us get a win because we're going into Major 3. This is DreamHack, which is gonna be definitely exciting to watch. They had the whole like bracket system set up for like the pools that they're
Pool
going to
play.
be in
Yeah.
or like for the groups. Um
I can't wait for
it
that.
is it is going to be tough for Boston,
Mhm.
definitely. They have
Well,
to go and they play in gentlemates for it. I had to pull it up there.
yeah.
It's gonna be a tough one.
I
We'll
will
see.
say though, that pool is probably the easiest pool they can get out of, to be honest. Because for you people that don't know how pool play works, essentially it's 4 teams per pool typically, and you have to win. You have to be top 2 in that pool, and you make it out of the pool play. So, and you play every team once, so you got to win uh, at least 2 matches, 2 of
Mhm.
those series, which I love pool play. It's just exciting because it sets a bracket, and even these matches, they weren't the best, but it decided what pool you were gonna be in, and there was a strong chance that Optic and Huntsman were gonna play each other, which that'd be legacy. That'd be insane to watch.
Oh,
Huntsman,
yeah.
respectfully, getting smoked, but it's just seeing those 2 teams play against each other because you'll never see it in the CDL, and the fact that the Huntsmen have a chance to play them and possibly have a chance of taking a couple maps, that's insane. Or maybe they do win the series, and then now Optic, they're down. They need to make it into the bracket.
Mhm.
And it's all those possibilities. I mean, man, P7 Snoopy's team, I wanted them to fall into the breaches pool play
I
so bad
know. Me
because,
too.
man, could you imagine? It's do or die. Snoopy against his old team. Winner's out, loser makes it into the bracket.
Yeah.
Snoopy right now, I'm gonna keep gassing him, but he's the best player in challengers right now. Every single person is gassing him. And we let him walk.
Yeah, he's definitely gonna be, coming in full blast on this. And I think a lot of not all these AM teams, I have to go look at some of the rosters again to be sure. But I think some of these teams have a good amount of pros on there, former pros. So when it comes to the LAN experience, they're not really gonna be feeling it like as much. Perfect example, Snoopy. I mean, he's been to the first two majors in the CDL. Him showing up with his team, he's not going to be shit in the sheets.
And he's
I think,
winning.
yeah, like I think it does a lot for the morale for these guys when they go down there. And then it also will say a lot too, which is always exciting seeing these AM teams come in because, yeah, in reality, you hope, you hope that the AM teams lose. I mean, they should. But you may get some individual performances that really show out where these guys are like, okay, this guy has earned a league spot just by how he's performed against some of these pros. Or you get the absolute insane upset where an AM team goes and beats out a pro team. I mean, looking at the brackets, the way or the pools that they have right now, I don't really know if that's gonna happen, you know? It's tough to say. We'll have to wait and see, but I think, with some of these AM teams that are coming in, I mean, they are, like, the best ones. They had to qualify to get into this.
Mhm,
So I hope that they show some life and they make the competition a little bit interesting because there's some of these teams that I don't wanna see make it out, you know?
mhm,
Like, I don't even I would hope that they just get eliminated and then maybe we could have a little bit more of an interesting event, you know?
mhm. Well, yeah, and that's the exciting thing about pool play, right? Like, C9, they're the worst team in the league. There's a higher chance that they're not gonna make it into the bracket. So that'll be interesting.
Yeah.
Breach is kinda right there with them. They got a bunch of former pros, and, I mean, they've all been to LAN. Realistically, they should make it out of that pool, but there's a chance that they don't. Gentleman's in that pool, look, they haven't been looking good. They've been barely winning, and if anything, that is probably their pool B, I think. Um, and that is probably the easiest pool to be in, to be honest.
I'll show you their group on here, they got them as Group C.
Group C, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, Group C. And yeah, they got in that group, they've got Thieves, they've got Notorious, which is that's Snoopy's team, right? And
Yeah, yeah.
then Gentlemates and
P7.
Breach. Yep.
Yeah. And okay, I say easiest, but look, I'm just saying they haven't been looking that good. Their schedule for this split has been pretty easy, and they didn't win all of them. They
Mhm.
should have. Gentlemates look shaky, but again, this is all land specifically for this game. Every those guys just show up on land, but who knows? I mean, P7 could come out. Gentlemates not might not make it out, and if it could be Thieves and P7 making it out of that group.
Yeah, it definitely could. I'm coming off of this weekend's results. Yeah, Gentlemates are definitely looking bad, and same thing with Thieves. They're not looking as strong as you would expect those rosters to look. Now, yeah, it's going to be land, so I would only hope that those guys pull it together and make it happen. But I think the only guarantees from this major is going to be that we more than likely will have an Optic and Phase grand finals again.
Mhm.
um, or at least have them being in the top 3 somewhere. Optic looks just like they've always looked all year. They look like an insanely good team. They're coming into this perfect, 5-0. I think they're gonna be able to pull it off. Um, I think for the sake of their morale, I hope that
Yeah,
they pull it off
not
because
another
I don't know if
second.
they could take another 2nd or 3rd. Um, but I think you're definitely going to see them up there, no doubt. I don't want to give just the lame ass answer of saying my prediction. Yeah, I think Optic's going to win. I think they'll finally get it
Mhm,
through the net and make it happen. But it would not surprise me if FaZe comes out, Simp the Pimp doing his thing, just
mhm,
comes out and blast these people. It could happen. Or, Thieves, they did come off winning the minor. Maybe they pull it together on land and they all show up. You never really know with some of those teams. Thieves to me is like a real wild card, and Gentlemates
mhm,
too. But Thieves, just the firepower on that team, they're so good. Like I think, and from the minor we saw, like they can definitely pull it together. And those
mhm,
guys are all land players. Like Neum, we'll have to see it from him a bit
mhm.
more. But the other three, no doubt. So I don't know. I just want a good show. That's all I
Yeah,
want.
yeah,
If
yeah.
we get good
If
competition, I don't care who wins.
yeah, if I was a betting man, Optics I feel like Optics guaranteed a grand finals. I mean,
Yeah.
back-to-back seconds, if they pull a surge from last year and they just get all seconds, that sucks.
Yeah.
That would really, really suck. Um, but I think Optic's gonna make it to the grand finals again. They're just the most consistent online and LAN, and then they choke in the grand finals for whatever reason. But even Thieves, like you said, Thieves are a wild card. They look great on land, but then for whatever reason, when they make it to grand finals too, that they just shit the bed.
Mhm.
Um, don't know why, but then FaZe makes it into the grand finals. These guys, I swear to God, they never fuck up. I don't know why, but for whatever reason, when FaZe gets into the grand finals, it's like all those guys are activated.
Yeah.
Specifically, Simp and Draza. For whatever reason, they play great. Like Simp has been unbelievable this split. Draza has been garbage. He has not been good this split. It's been very mediocre out of him. But then you look at him on land, dude's just going off.
Right.
No, I
And,
mean,
like, at the end of the day, that's all that really
that's what
matters, right?
matters. Yeah,
You know? It's like no one remembers how you win in the qualifiers. They all
mhm,
just remember if you won Major 3 or not, if you got the championship.
exactly.
Yeah.
But again, any team could win. I wouldn't be upset I if like Breach got out and into the bracket and they're like top 3 or something. I want something insane to happen. Yeah, you want
Yeah.
an underdog AM team. Can you imagine Huntsman Optic grand finals?
Yeah, I
That
mean,
would be insane. Like
the
everything,
viewership would go through the
dude, it would
roof.
go through the for Thieves don't make it. They lose out of this is why I like pool play. Thieves and Gentlemates don't make it out of pool play. P7 and Breach make it in.
Oh, yeah, I mean, that would
Phase will make it out of pool play, but adding pool play in, just you know, you think these guys are guarantees because they're pros, but it's not.
Yeah, I mean, and I'll say too, like, my last thing on all this stuff, regarding the major. Man, I think that this setup that they have for pool play, this should just be every major.
Yeah,
Every major they should
go
do
back
this.
to what it
I don't
was.
get why we don't do this, and it's the same thing with even those minor tournaments. That should just online league matches really should just disappear. And it should be that every time they're playing, they're sitting down playing for something,
Mhm,
whether it's money or they're playing for like a minor tournament or they're playing for a big championship like this, and where you get to have the amateur exposure where, you can see some of these players who maybe show out, get some upsets, or, really shake things up in the league where these guys can like an amateur team comes in and they beat someone like Thieves or Gentlemates, that team immediately has a lot of eyes on them. All those
mhm.
players do. Um, I just think it's way better of a viewing experience, and it's got to be more fun for those guys to be playing. I just don't understand why this is like a carrot that they dangle in front of us. They're like, "Oh, you
Yeah,
like
yeah,
this?" We're like, "Yeah." It's like, "Well, we're
yeah,
not doing it
yeah.
again." It's like,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah. It's like
like
we had that before. COD
right,
was great back then with this format because there was always a chance, right?
yeah,
And multiplayer was great back then too, and then they changed it. It's like COD was great back then, and
and
then they changed a bunch of stuff.
it's
We
like we
had
used to
everything.
have good campaigns, and then it
Yeah,
changed. Like,
everything changed for the worse. And
well, on that very
I don't
sweet
know.
note, bro. I
All
mean,
of us. we're looking forward towards the major at least, and it's in Atlanta. So I mean, who was it? It was, I think it was Abizi. He like straight up roasted a bunch of teams in the podcast. He was like, "Well, at least we're in Atlanta this time, so the teams that get knocked out early, they can go do stuff." But I don't think he meant it that way.
Yeah,
I
right,
was like,
right.
that was a great roast, even though you didn't mean to say mean it that way.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, Major Three will be exciting. You and I always love watching tournaments. I mean, there's nothing like tournament time, so it'll be
Yeah,
exciting.
it's do or die. We'll definitely be talking about it next week, seeing the results, and I don't know. I think this is going to be a pivotal major. Closing on this is that there needs to be a lot of decisions made from the results from this
Mhm,
for certain teams if they want to really have a chance at trying to improve going forward for the rest of the season. If you have major one and two, maybe you can kind of cut some slack or give an excuse to whatever you want. But if you have three in a row from me, these teams that were rumored going into this split that didn't make decisions, I don't think there should be any question about it anymore. If
mhm,
you place bad again, you have to cut the cord and you got to make a decision. So that's always exciting. I like knowing it's kind of fucked up to think like that, but I like knowing that things are on the line because that
mhm.
hopefully that brings the best out of these people. And if you don't get it, I'm like, what are you gonna do?
I know that's why more COD just needs to be played in the old style. Way more COD is played, and
Mhm.
I think Rambo Ray said on the flank. He said that. Oh no, it was Clay. Clay said it. Clay and Ray. I'm pretty sure they said that people just don't have time to develop anymore because you have to make split decisions because of the format, which is totally true. But back then, they were playing so much COD in one day that you could see it.
Yeah,
You have a large sample size of matches to base, teams. Like you'll know pretty quick based on the amount of matches that they play. But
yeah.
man, one team that does need to make a change if they get knocked out, especially out of pool play, Boston, if
That
you
needs
don't make a change and you're out, you better go beg
see
Snoopy
that
back. I'm telling
see
you.
that shirt, Justin? I might need
Yeah.
to take it down.
You better get Snoopy back and
Yeah,
apologize. You gotta drop Purge. Sorry, Purge. You're just an odd man out, man. Like
yeah.
it, it,
No,
it
they
should have it should have been Snoopy on the team. But Purge, prove
they
me wrong. If you win the whole tournament, then I'll bite my tongue.
yeah, yeah. I mean, we'll be over here and, we'll be on the purge hype train, we'll
Yeah.
be loving them. But, I mean, it's to be determined as to what happens with it, but I know regardless of what ends up happening, we're gonna get some good matches, so I'm definitely looking forward to that.
Join the
And yeah,
Discord. We want to talk
we'll
about
for
it.
sure be talking about it. Yeah. I mean, just in general with these majors going forward, people, if you made it this far, first off, we appreciate you making it to the end of the episode here. Do let us know if we also have cognitive decline and we can't remember the names of these maps, or if you're in the same boat as us. I hope that it's not just you and me. People
I
are
hope
like, bro,
so.
I remember most of these maps. And then also too, just on that whole topic, if you agree or disagree with us regarding maps being memorable, if you think that is like a valid thing that you feel as well. Because we'll have a question there, and then just let us know. Continue the conversation in the Discord, which is always linked below. We appreciate people joining in there and having the conversation, as well as going to, of course, anchor.fm/COD Casual, since we're there on all stream platforms. Going to the YouTube and comment, like, and subscribing over there, which we appreciate. And then, of course, going to the Instagram and the TikTok where we just post all the shorts. Please sure to give us a follow over there. Appreciate it. The 5 stars always,
Mhm.
and the follows. Give us the follows. We need to get to that 1K mark. There's a lot of people just watching. You're just watching. Go
Just
follow us,
watching, listening. We're out
which we
here.
appreciate it.
It's
But give us that
free.
follow. It means a lot for us. But yeah, again, we're gonna be in for a good major. We'll be looking forward to watching it for sure.
Mhm.
And congrats, Boston Breach, on the win.
Yeah. Let's go
They beat
purge.
everyone. Let's go purge.
W
But yeah,
purge.
I think that does it though, huh?
Yeah.
Cool. So again, everyone, thank you for listening to this episode, number 274 of the COD Casuals podcast. We're your host, Mike,
I'm Justin.
and we'll see you guys next week. Take it easy, everybody.
See ya.